Yar River. Now we just take the boat to come here. Then we see something totally different.
And what's the name of this particular area?
This area we call Bang Kachao.
Bang Kachao. Renowned Australian journalist George Nikas and his son Serge joined us for the ride. It's hard to believe that just over there's 10 million people, but right here it's just us in the wilderness. Okay, this is Serge Nikas. He's on a bit of a bike trek with us today, and he's come across this long-nosed vine snake. Now, interesting thing with these particular snakes is his eye, his vision. He has a horizontal pupil, and this particular species of snake is very good at hunting lizards, particularly geckos. Now, if the gecko's camouflaged and he's staying still, this species of snake can actually detect where the gecko is, whereas a lot of other creatures wouldn't. So this is the first...
Yeah, I haven't seen one of these guys in a while. It's actually a colobib species, so they're non-venomous, but he's a very agile hunter through the trees and stuff, going and looking around for geckos and lizards, and they're an awesome snake to fly on. Just look at its head. What snake do you see that has a bloody long nose like that?
It's amazing, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Nothing like that in Australia.
Okay, so we're going to release the snake, let him go, and it's warm enough. You might go for a bit of a dip. You can see this track here going into the water. I reckon there's some dinosaurs in this park. Maybe a big monitor lizard. I'm wondering if I can come through on him. Serge, who has had a keen interest in reptiles for many years, was blown away by the size of the monster monitor lizards. Oh well, we got a glimpse of one. He's a little bit fast for us, but maybe there'll be another one shortly. Now this is what it's all about, getting down and dirty, getting amongst it. Have a look at these. Big goanna. Claw marks here through the bank. He's about this wide, so his belly's probably about this round. I'd say this lizard would be about 2.8 metres, almost 3 metres. They grow not quite as big as Komodo dragons, but pretty close. Anyway, they're proving to be hard to find, and when we do find them, they're pretty hard to catch as well. But we'll soldier on. Wow, look at that. He's a big boy. Look at that. Look at that. That's not a goanna, that's more like a Komodo. Have a look at the size of this bloke. Wow, he can grow to 3 metres in length. Nearly as big as the Komodo dragon. Now this guy here weighs almost as much as me. They can weigh about 70 kilos, 75 kilos. It's alright buddy, we're just having a bit of a look at you, then we're going to let you go on your way. Now you definitely wouldn't want to get bit by one of these guys. He's got about 59 different types of bacteria in his mouth. And now scientists are starting to believe they actually produce their own mild venom, which is not fatal to man, of course, but the bacteria can be if it's not medically treated properly.
Wow, they look a bit like velociraptors with these hands, these giant claws, and the head, when it sits up in the grass, in the long grass,
he sits up like that.
Looks exactly like a raptor.
When he sits up like this, they're very intelligent. Also, sometimes they'll stand up on their back legs. They'll have a look around. Their eyesight's very good. They say they can see about 400 metres, so they can see you coming for a while.
They've got a great sense of smell as well, because they're forked tongue. They've got a system in their nasal area called the Jacobson's organ. When they flick their tongue out, they'll taste the air and bring it back into this organ, and they'll know exactly where you are just through a sense of smell.
That's right, the forked tongue picks up the particles in the air, doesn't
It
it?
brings it straight inside.
Yep, and that transfer messages information to his brain, and he can find his way around. Want to go for a walk? You want to go back in the drink? There we go! Whoa, all right, man, that was good stuff, wasn't it?
Well done, brother.
Is that
amazing.
That's the biggest lizard I've caught.
By far.
By far.
By far.
Me too. But for sure, 2.5 metres in, mate.
It was massive.
2.5
Unbelievable.
metres. Yeah.
First one got away from us, but not the second one.
Not the second one. Walk in the park, mate. Walk in the
yeah.
park. All right. Well, there we go. That was the Bangkok Jungle Tour. Hope you enjoyed it. Come over, explore it for yourself for the day. Get yourself a lovely pair of these mud socks that I have, and we'll see you next time.
There are, of course, some beautiful parts of the world, and here at Surin Beach on Phuket, you'd certainly have to feel you are at one of them. It's amazing, though, how many people do incredibly active things at places that look like they're designed for relaxation. And our visitor today, Brenda Carfrae, has just done something extraordinary at another such place in Hawaii, I believe, wasn't it?
Yes.
Where you won a world-class award that still astounds me because it's called an Ironman Award.
Yeah. Yeah, on the 9th of October I won the Ironman World Championships, one of the biggest triathlon races in the world. So that was in Kona, Hawaii, and now a month and a bit later, I'm in Surin Beach in Phuket and doing a little bit of training here, but definitely enjoying just the scenery and this beautiful part of the world, as you said.
Yes.
From Brisbane, Queensland, Australia, your 2010 Ford Ironman World Champion, taking home $110,000, Brenda Carfrae.
So you don't mind people being somewhat surprised that a young, perfectly feminine woman is an Ironman, do you?
Not at all. I guess in my world it's just accepted. It's just Ironman.
Yeah.
Ironman is triathlon, and Ironman is a brand. It's not, there's no Iron Man or Iron Woman.
Right.
It's just a brand. So
Yeah.
it's the
The gender doesn't come into it now, but your category is for women. Is it under a certain age, or is that open?
No, it's basically professional women. So I race against basically the best women in the world at that distance, and there's a pro men's category as well, and then there's an amateur category. So then the amateurs all race against their own age groups. It starts at, I guess, 20 to 24 and goes up to, I think the oldest competitor was over 80 who did the Ironman. So it's quite amazing, the range of just people who can actually compete in an Ironman and enjoy the event.
Yes, even you're surprised.
I am. I was there. For me, it took a little under 9 hours, and I'd go home, get changed, have something to eat, come back at midnight that night, and you'd see people crossing the line at 16 plus hours later. So it's a long day, and yeah, it certainly is.
When you're starting out on something like that, clearly there's all kinds of training to get to that point. But what happens on the first day? Because I guess it's all on one day, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's a one-day event.
So the first morning, what do you do?
So the morning, I guess you start out with a swim. The swim is 3.8 kilometres, and it's just in the ocean. So start out, the pros go off at 6:30 a.m. All the amateurs go off at 7. You do the swim and then transition straight onto your bike. Transition takes about a minute. You're out of the water and on your bikes within a minute, and then you ride 180 kilometres along,